In a world where medical complexities are rife, it can be hard for some conditions to receive the exposure that it deserves. Angelman Syndrome is one of those conditions which we as a society have let slip through the cracks. Do you know what Angelman Syndrome is?
Angelman Syndrome. No, I never heard of that before.
Angelman Syndrome. No, I can't say I do.
I've never heard of Angelman Syndrome.
Joel and Connor live with Angelman Syndrome. This chromosomal disorder robs them of speech, balance, and sleep. Despite their challenges, they are some of the happiest boys you could ever meet. The burden and joy of caring for them falls on their incredible mothers, Fiona, Lawton, and Lysandra Callahan.
When did you begin to suspect that your son may have had a condition?
Approximately 5 months, we noticed he wasn't meeting his developmental milestones, and by a year we started looking into having some testing. He was just diagnosed with global developmental delays, and then our paediatrician sent us for some blood tests and sent us to a neurologist, and the neurologist spent 15 minutes with him and said, I think he's got Angelman syndrome.
How does Angelman Syndrome affect Connor?
So Connor's affected by Angelman syndrome in several ways. Obviously, Connor can't talk. That is a big thing that occurs with people with Angelman syndrome. He uses what's called an assisted augmented communication device. Angelman syndrome can come with a very severe sleep disorder. So that's really affected Connor at various times in his life, and so sleep management continues to be a real issue.
Having Joel has had some huge impacts on my life, both emotionally and financially. I had a wonderful job in WA, and I actually had to give that up because he was in hospital so much. He had significant health problems on and off, and I just wasn't able to maintain that job. I had to move over from WA to Queensland to get the family support that I needed, and I had to sell my house in WA at a loss.
Do you believe the condition gets the recognition it deserves?
A lot of people, you walk into a hospital or anywhere and they don't know what it is, and they have to do a quick Google search, or you have to be their encyclopedia for them. So it definitely doesn't get the recognition, I believe.
So we believe that there are possibly 1,000 hidden angels in the community, and we're really keen for people to have access to accurate diagnosis. A lot of people probably 12, 15, 20, 30 years ago were diagnosed with cerebral palsy, severe autism, sometimes ADHD. So if you haven't been diagnosed with Angelman syndrome, you've been misdiagnosed or undiagnosed. So it's incredibly important that people in the broader community understand what Angelman syndrome is. Other ways that Angelman syndrome affects Connor are in the positive, and that is that despite those challenges, Connor has a fantastic personality. He's incredibly loving and loyal. I think my favourite memory was the day he walked. So just before his 5th birthday, there was just this one day where his brother and sister were sitting on the bed, and he just decided in his head that he wanted to go to the bed, and he just got himself pulled up and just walked across the room to them. And I think the priceless thing was the look on my husband's face when he had gone to work that morning and Connor couldn't walk. And that evening when he came home, he opened up the door and Connor just walked out to meet him at the car. So that will stay with me forever. That's a cherished, cherished memory.
I think one of my favourite memories is the first time I found Joel standing in the toilet. He loves water, and that's one of the things with Angelman syndrome. They have an attraction to water, and he was so pleased and happy with himself splashing around in the toilet bowl. And whenever I think of a happy memory, that's pretty much how happy he was.